Did you ever have to push them at all?
Never.
Never pushed them.
Never pushed them once.
They just, but even now, you can see that love and that passion.
No, they love the game.
Yeah.
Because we always took them to college matches. They saw Stanford play. They saw 200 college matches before they ever went to Stanford on a full ride. They saw 5 Davis Cup matches, 5 ties before they were ever named to the Davis Cup. And they dreamed it, and they wanted it, So it's like they were totally familiar with Davis Cup. They were totally familiar with college tennis and pro tennis. They've been in many a locker room before they ever went on the tour. As little kids, they went in locker rooms. So again, it doesn't surprise us.
And what I was going to ask is, were they very competitive between each other?
To say the least, they were competitive with each other. We'd always send them up to court 16 at the club, which is really far away from the clubhouse, because they'd go hammer and tong each and every day, but they were never allowed to tell us who won. That was our deal. Really? In fact, all the kids in our program, I always made them play, but I said, don't ever tell us who won, because we want you practicing. We could always tell, because one guy would be like this, and one guy would be so it was pretty easy to figure out who won that day, but they were never allowed to tell us. But they're very competitive with each other. So anytime we were working with them, we always had to say, great shot, great forehand, Mikey, comma, good backhand, Bob. Or I like that shirt, Mike. I like your shirt, Bob. You got to get egalitarian to the max with identical twins, because if you ever give a compliment to the other guy's like this, so we always had to do dual compliments.
And did they ever fight? Did they fight between each other much?
Very seldom. My brother and I, we were about 2 years apart. We fought like cats and dogs.
I mean, I do the same with my brother.
Yeah, most brothers do. My brother's a Superior Court judge and so forth. Great guy, but we fought as we came along. Not every day, but the boys very seldom will fight. They might throw a shoe or whip a small piano across the room or give a quick punch, but it never lasts more than 5-10 seconds, and they really get along on the court. I mean, you look at so many of the great teams throughout history, they end up breaking up. I'm not trying to be negative on Mahesh or Leander. I love them both. Very accomplished players, but tennis would be better if those guys played together, and they just, they didn't get along. So various teams have done well, but for whatever reason, it's, half the marriages end in divorce, probably over half.
Yep.
So it's no surprise that happens on the tour, but the boys are committed to each other through thick and thin. We're a team. And they got that from the Jensens, I think. They got it from the Gullickson brothers. They've gotten so much from so many teams through the years. Smith and Lutz, McEnroe, Fleming, of course the Woodies, of course the Jensens, Ricky Leach, Jim Pugh. They got a little bit from each one, Ricky was Peter Pan on a tennis court. The Jensens ran to the position, chest bump, did the charity, signed every autograph, win or lose, had a band, so forth and so on. The Woodies, I mean, such excellence, such record-setting performances, very intelligent team. Learned a lot from them. Learned a lot from all the great teams, and of course we've studied them all throughout history.
Yeah, a couple more questions. I mean, they are such great guys, and I feel really privileged to have gotten to know them so well. And Michaela is your granddaughter, is the apple of everybody's eye. Yeah. I love her Twitter comments.
Yeah.
Would you like to see Michaela follow their
Of course, I would love
dad
to see.
And uncle?
Love to see Michaela play tennis, no question. But it's not my call; it's her call, of course. She loves playing the piano. I mean, she can barely sit up like this, and she goes right for those black keys, and she plays them without a doubt. She's playing the piano, and then she'll play for 20 seconds, and then she'll look up. Who's watching me? So she's really a little performer, but I'd love nothing more than to have a little left-handed girl player and again follow the same trails as the boys. But who knows? Her decision. But I'm going to try to take her to every college match I can. I'm going to take her to Fed Cup matches. I'm going to take her to see women's high school teams. My wife wants her to be a jockey or win the Kentucky Derby. My wife loves to run. She was a pro player as well. I don't know what Bob and Michelle want her to do, but of course it's up to her. I'd love to see her play tennis. I'd love to see her play music and have good grades in school.
And the last question is, the boys have won everything, every Grand Slam title. Now they've won the Olympic doubles gold medal. If I asked you to pick one highlight in all that they've achieved, I know it's a tough one, but what would that be?
You got to say winning the Davis Cup for the United States. They went the long road with Captain Pat McEnroe, Andy Roddick, James Blake, Marty Fish was a teammate. They'd always wanted that goal since they were little boys, and seeing Ricky Leach for the first time. Of course they wanted to be number one. Of course they wanted to win all the Grand Slams. Of course they wanted to set the record for most times being number one. That gold medal was sweet. I mean, they built a nice little resume, a nice little Christmas tree, and had they won the gold medal sometime in the middle of their career, I don't think it would stand out as much as now. They got the body of work, and you put the little gold medal on the top.
Star.
That was really sweet. I don't think I've ever seen him smile and be so happy, and the country be so happy as winning that gold medal. Bank tellers know about the gold medal. People who, you know, pick you up at the airport or serve you food, they know about the gold medal. All our people, all our friends and family and people from all walks of life love that gold medal. Did I answer that question? I gave you a lot. Also winning the NCAAs for Stanford. They had a wonderful time at Stanford playing for the legendary Dick Gould and John Wentlinger. Stanford, Davis Cup, gold medal, Grand Slams, being number one. And you know what I was very proud of? They've been the fan favorite doubles team for 7 years in a row. I mean, that means you're doing something right. They understand entertainment, they understand giving back, and they want to have some fun out there on the tennis court. And the fact that they've been that 7 times, that's pretty cool too.
On that note, Wayne, I can see where the boys have got their passion from. Wayne Bryan, thank you so much for joining us on WeAreTennis.com.
And Craig, thanks for all you do. I love listening to your stuff all the time for Davis Cup and every other darn place. And you do a great job for tennis. Always good to be with you.
Thank you.